Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back to the FCS Football channel and today's match preview for the Manchester United versus Watford game. Now, of course, there will be a watch along for this game. Stream starts at 2:30 and kickoff is at 3 on Saturday the 19th of November. So be there or be square. Of course, it is a 3 o'clock kickoff, so we will keep an eye on the other games at 3 o'clock. But of course, we will be focusing on the big one, Manchester United versus Watford. Now, looking into the actual preview for this game, Manchester United coming to this game sat in 6th place, having picked up just 4 points from their last 15 available. Watford, look, they're doing worse. Somehow they're doing worse, picking up just 3 points from their last 15, seeing them sat 17th, just outside the drop zone. Of course, Claudio Ranieri has just been appointed as Watford manager, or like four weeks or so ago. So this will be his 4th game in charge. We've seen him lose to Liverpool. We then saw him beat Everton. He then lost to Southampton, then lost to Arsenal. So you have to expect Manchester United to win this game, don't you? And well, regardless of their form, you'd expect Manchester United to win this game. However, look, we're not in great form ourselves. We lost our last game 2-0 to Manchester City. Eric Bailly scoring an own goal just 7 minutes into that game before Bernardo Silva scored what has to go down as one of the worst goals Manchester United have ever conceded. It's just awful defending. Luke Shaw, don't know what he's doing. No one's picking up the run of Bernardo Silva. You could argue De Gea maybe should be able to do better. We're just in terrible form, aren't we? So we have to do better today. And do I think we will? Well, I think we must. I think we will. Now we go over to team news. Now, for Watford, they're not terrible. Kuka is suspended. He got sent off against Arsenal. So how will Watford line up today? Well, Watford, under Claudio Ranieri, they've kind of played either a 4-1-4-1 or a 4-3-3. However you want to see it, I guess. So they go for the back four. They played Moussa Sissoko at defensive midfield, although he could be moved up and replace Kuka after, of course, like I said, he is suspended and play more as that box-to-box player. They then have wingers in Ismail Sarr and Dennis with Josh King up top. So they definitely look to try and play on the counter-attack, defend well and defend deep, and then get the ball to these pacey wingers and attackers in Josh King, Sarr and Dennis, and really put teams under the cosh. And that's why Manchester United, I think we need to be good defensively and we need to kind of watch out. Of course, we are going to dominate this game in terms of keeping the ball. But it's about keeping the ball and using the ball in the right places, as well as just not giving away cheap possession. And when Watford do attack, we get numbers behind the ball and we stop them. Because that is how Watford will look to play. Like I said, they're going to try and play on the counter-attack. Hit us with pace on the break. And against players like Harry Maguire, we know that is possible. So we have to be at our best if we are to beat this Watford team today. Especially considering how terrible we have been. But going over to the Manchester United team news, it's not looking great. Rafael Varane, of course, has a hamstring injury, so he won't be able to play. Edinson Cavani, he obviously missed the Manchester City game and he missed international break with Uruguay due to a tendon injury. We are not sure if he will be back. I don't think he will be back, but there is a chance he might be able to feature on the bench. Scott McTominay is also not match fit. He missed the games for Scotland, but there's hopes that he will be available. So if he is available, I imagine he'll be in the first team. And of course, Paul Pogba is serving his last game of his suspension after he was sent off against Liverpool. Now, before we actually get into what I believe the starting lineups will be, I think we need to talk about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. There's been a report from Manchester Evening News or Men that this could be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's last match in charge of Manchester United. There are reports that apparently the chief executives or just chief figures at Manchester United have come to the decision that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not the right man to take us forward and he will be relieved of his duties. They're just waiting for the right replacement to be lined up. Do I believe this? I don't. I think it's just trying to appease the fans a little bit. But do I think it should happen? Yes, I do think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer should be sacked. I don't think he should be manager still. But do I think it is going to happen? No, I don't. And while we're talking about Ollie, let's look at what I believe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's team for today will look like. So we will go with David De Gea in goal. De Gea has kept us in games this season. He kept us competitive. He's been absolutely fantastic. He has to keep his place in this first team. Then going into the defence, Wan-Bissaka will stay in. I have no doubts about that. Lindelof, I believe, will partner Maguire with Luke Shaw at left back. We've seen Harry Maguire and Lindelof play together so often. Regardless of form of either of them, they always seem to play together when they're both fit. So I don't see why they wouldn't play today while Rafael Varane is out injured. McTominay and Fred, they're safe, aren't they? Safe. Oh, we know these two won't let us down, continuously do let us down still. But that's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's reasoning behind it, isn't it? Oh, they'll run about, they'll do their defensive work, and they just won't let us down. Well, they do continuously let us down, but I still think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will run with them. Marcus Rashford on the left. He won't drop Rashford, I don't think. I think he will go with Sancho on the right. He's been very impressive in training, so I think Sancho just plays. Bruno and Ronaldo will, of course, start. I have no doubts about that. On the other hand, this is the team I would play. So De Gea in goal, Wan-Bissaka. I would then go for Bailly. Look, I've said I'm not the biggest fan of Bailly. When everyone was going on about how good he was against Atalanta, I said Bailly's not the solution to all our problems. He's not. But for this game, I think he could be very, very useful. Like I said, Watford will look to try and play on the counter-attack. And with pacey forwards and Sarr, Dennis and King, you need someone like a Bailly at centre-back just to sweep up. If the ball comes over the top, Lindelof and Maguire could be left exposed by the pace of them three attackers. Bailly will sort it because he is so quick. He is so strong. He can deal with balls over the top all day long. So that's what I do believe Bailly should be starting today. Luke Shaw at left back, kind of lucky to keep his place. I don't think he's been good enough. Although he's had a good rest over the international break, not playing for England. Let's hope he can be at his best. Harry Maguire, let's also hope he's back at his best. Was very good on international duty with England, playing what wasn't an amazing opponent, but did well, scored goals in both games. Let's hope he takes a bit of confidence from that and brings that into Manchester United. And let's see him back at his very best like he was last season. In midfield, Donny van der Beek and Nemanja Matic, for me, have to start. Great on the ball. And they're just, again, they're players that keep the ball, knock it around, and get a team moving around, which will create space for the attackers in Martial, Bruno Fernandes, Jadon Sancho, and Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, I've gone for these four because, again, I want players who's good on the ball and can take a player on, but has the intelligence to know when to do that and when to maybe just give it short into your midfielder, maybe to play the overlap. And I think that is what this team is. They're also more creative, especially Martial is more creative than Rashford in my opinion. And I think Martial, like I said, he creates more. And I think he's against Everton, he looked fantastic off the left-hand side alongside Cavani. Let's see him play today. Let's see how he gets on. And look, Rashford is such a threat off the bench. It's not a bad thing to have coming off the bench, is it, a Marcus Rashford? When a defence might be tiring, having someone running at you with Marcus Rashford's pace, with his ability to take a player on, it's scary. So I would start Martial in this game, and Rashford can come off the bench if Martial isn't playing too well. Now, just about the game, it's a must-win, isn't it? I keep saying it's a must-win game. Watford, newly promoted, are on worse form than us. We're meant to be trying to compete for a Premier League title this season, and we're nowhere near it. We're actually outside the top 4. We're outside the top 5. We're below Arsenal. We simply have to win it. There's no excuses. There's no if, buts, or maybes about it. We have to beat Watford. But will we? That's the question. And I think we will. I don't think Watford are very good. I don't rate Claudio Ranieri as a manager, despite what heroics he did for Leicester, 5-6 years ago at this point. I don't think he's a great manager. I think we can beat him, and we should beat him, despite the fact that Cycling GK is a beast. I think we should beat him, and I think we will beat them. I think we're going to win this game 3-0. Now, if you have enjoyed this preview, please do hit that like button below and subscribe if you are new and you haven't already. That would be greatly appreciated. And please do make sure you check out the watch along. That is down below, and the details for that are, of course, at my side. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. In a bit. Peace.